Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Michael with Wildlife X Team, and today we thought we would make a quick little video just for you on what to do if a raccoon enters your home. It's still summertime, there's raccoons all over the place. Your home or place of residence might just be the place for that hungry or thirsty raccoon. They're still curious, they're looking around, and in fact, I'm gonna put some footage on the screen right now that I personally took just yesterday of making this video right now, where a raccoon actually entered kind of the home area and he was looking for some food. He was kind of hiding in the garden area, and he would sneak out a little bit for food. And so there's still raccoons all over the place in almost every single state, except of course, the desert areas or whatever. And so what do you do actually if a raccoon enters your home? Because we already know that you shouldn't touch the raccoon and you have to be careful of them because they can hurt your pets, they can hurt you, and they can cause property damage. And if you want more information on the dangers of wildlife, check the description below, and we made another video about the dangers of wildlife and how to prevent it. So, you walk in your home and you see a raccoon. Maybe he's by the fridge, or maybe you don't even know how he snuck in, but you see a raccoon inside your home. What you want to do first, if you have any pets, is you just want to secure the pets. So if you have any cats or dogs or any animals that are kind of just out and about, secure them in an area separate of the raccoon. Most likely, if a raccoon has entered your home, the dog or cat or whatever has already smelled them, and they're going to be a little bit aggressive and territorial. And the raccoon, being very hungry, is going to be quite aggressive as well. So these two animals are not going to get along, and you don't want to risk your animals getting a disease, getting hurt, or just making a mess from a general fight. So no matter where your pets are, even if they're way upstairs and the raccoon is downstairs, first find them, make sure they're okay, and then lock them in a bedroom, lock them with their food or whatever, so that way you can handle the situation and your pets aren't there, making the situation more complicated and potentially causing damage. After securing your pets, the next important thing is to make no sudden movements. Raccoons are very, very alert and tense creatures, and same with almost all wildlife. I'm sure maybe you've seen a deer before, or you've probably seen a raccoon outside before, and it might be a little bit interested in you. It might be like, what is this creature? What are these creatures on two legs? But you'll notice that when you try to get close to it, it's off into the woods, or if you try give it food even, or whatever you try to do, the raccoon will most likely not let you get close if you're making sudden and kind of jerky movements. So be very smooth, very slow, and you want to gently guide the raccoon out of your place. Or if it's not even in your home, let's say it's outside of your home and you just want it to leave, you're going to want to gently just kind of follow it out. Now, of course, it's a little bit different if the raccoon is outside of your place. You're just going to kind of want to push him out. Quite honestly, it's going to be really easy getting a raccoon kind of out of your area, just because they're so alert and so afraid and so nervous of new people. You just got to walk towards them and they'll dart right off. But if they're inside your home and hungry, they're going to be a little bit more territorial. So you don't want to be sudden, you don't want to be jerky, and you don't want to run right at them, because if you run right at them, they might run around and they might not necessarily know or remember where they came in. So if you charge right at them and you make them sprint, they might be able to hide under some furniture. They might go into another room and get completely lost. So you'll want to make sure all the doors are closed that you possibly can, except of course the exit. And like I said, you don't want to charge at them, because the worst case scenario is the raccoon is carrying some disease or whatever, and it attacks you and gives you that disease. So don't be sudden, don't be jerky, don't be quick. If it's inside of your home, just be gentle with it and slowly guide it out. So how exactly do you guide the raccoon out? One of the ways that I actually used last night that I tested personally myself, if the raccoon is in a very residential area, for example, midtown, downtown, or there's not a lot of farmland kind of near where you live, so it's just like suburbs forever, this will probably work because the raccoon is probably used to people feeding him actually, especially if it's an older one, or at the very least, it knows that we humans have the food, and so it's not going to be as alarmed of a human as a completely wild raccoon. So you might want to test this, but then again, be careful. Don't let it get too close. Do not touch it no matter what. But what you're gonna do is you're just gonna kind of hold your hand just like this, almost like you have something. Maybe if you have a dog, you kind of know that you can, if you normally give treats directly from your hand, as soon as you go like this, the dog will be interested. Like, what does he have? I want to see what's in it. Is it a treat? The raccoon might be the same way. Just stick your hand out and see what he does. And be very, very gentle, very light. Maybe even stick your whole palm out. That's kind of what I did the other day, yesterday, is I didn't even have to pretend like I was holding something. He was just so intrigued about who I was that he was willing to kind of come out of the garden area. So what I did is I just held my hand out like this, and I very, very slowly guided him out. Again, very, very slow movements. Don't be very harsh, don't be aggressive, and be patient with it too. You're just gonna wanna hold it out and then maybe make some noises too, like pss, pss, pss. That kind of noise, like pss, 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 pss. That really intrigues them, and it draws them out. So you'll just hold your hand out like that, and he might come close and start sniffing around, and just slowly pull it back. And then maybe if you have food too that you have to spare, and you're trying to get him out, and he doesn't seem aggressive, you could even take like a small little snack and just kind of wave it. Again, don't get too close, but get him interested and slowly lead him out. And then of course, once you get out of your house, you can just run right at him as long as your back is to your house, and he'll just completely run away. But that's one tactic that you can use where you kind of just make interest. And instead of being a really aggressive creature, you can be the friendly creature. And he'll be interested, and he's like, what's going on? And then you just slowly pull him out. Once you get him moving in the certain area that you want, you can get behind him and just get him to run out, just like that. The second method that you could try to apply is, instead of being really aggressive, kind of take a combination of both, where you're not aggressive, but you're not really passive like the situation I just described. What you could do is, if you know that he just entered from somewhere and he's able to exit, for example, in the same room, if the window's open, if you can open the door real quick, and so the exit for the raccoon is in the same room, another thing you could do, instead of drawing him out, you could kind of push him out. So what I would recommend, get a broom, get a stick, get anything long, so that way you don't touch him personally, and you can kind of just guide him out, just like that. But be very careful with this. Don't be too aggressive. Don't hit him or anything, because if you hit him, then you're gonna be a threat and he's going to attack you. And as we discussed, that is not gonna be good for you. However, it does kind of encourage him to move out. So, if you ever have a cat, maybe, you kind of know what this is. When you want the cat to move, you don't kick the cat, and sometimes it's kind of hard to draw them out very passively. So you can just simply kind of take your hand and kind of, push them on the back, and then they get the memo and they kind of just run away or whatever. And the exact same is true for raccoons, except you're not going to be touching them. You're going to be using a stick or a broom or any type of long object to prevent the raccoon from getting close to you, and you're just going to kind of push him out and guide him in the area you want him to go. And again, close all of the exits around you that you don't want him going in. For example, if you have a downstairs door, don't leave the downstairs door open and then try to push him out, because it's very well possible the short memory raccoon, instead of remembering, hey, I went in through this door and this opening, he might just go straight downstairs, and that will be a much greater problem. So the last possible situation is, what if the raccoon is aggressive? What if he's fighting? What if he's really, really desperate for food? There's two ways you can go about handling this situation. The first is give him what he wants. Raccoons, once they find what they're looking for, which is food, they usually just take the food, they run off to a hiding spot, and then they eat the food alone. So like I keep saying, you just want to make sure all the doors are closed, there's no possible way the raccoon can get deeper into your home. Have the exit be very, very clear, and then just lay some type of snack or any type of thing that might emit some type of smell that would intrigue the raccoon kind of in the direction you want the raccoon to go. And then you could apply the broom strategy where, once he gets the food, if he's not going completely out, he's going to be intrigued enough about the food that you can kind of sweep him out and just guide him outside the door. Finally, number 2, if he's aggressive, he's not taking the bait, you're not able to kind of draw him out, and he's maybe holed up in a cabinet or any type of thing, maybe a pet attacked him earlier, and so he's on fight mode and he needs food, but he's willing to fight for it and he's going to attack you and he doesn't trust you. If that happens, I would recommend calling a wildlife removal specialist. In the description below, I'm gonna have a link to our website, Wildlife X Team, and you can save the number of your local area so that while you have on speed dial or whatever a number in case a raccoon infests your home, so that way a specialist can remove the raccoon ethically, safely, and without any damage and get them back to their natural habitat. Alright, so that right there is a few strategies that you can use should a raccoon enter your home or place of residence, so that way you can get the raccoon out safely, you don't get hurt, your pets don't get hurt, and there's no property damage. My name is Michael with Wildlife X Team. We hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to hit subscribe, like, and comment what you think, and we will see you in the next video.